serve, and grow is what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell. www.houseofreconciliation.org.
Good evening and happy day to everyone across the nation and to the world. We're happy to be with you this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. Want to thank all of those that are here in person, sitting in on the broadcast at 1427 Sweet Lawrence Road, as well as those that are part of the Mother Campus in Greenwood, 210 Pansy Road, Hodges, South Carolina, and of course to our virtual campus and all of the support that you guys have given us and to the international connections that we are building across the world. We are forever grateful, so we're not going to waste your time as you see this in your own time zone. The topic tonight is, who are your dream supporters? This comes from the concept, they've stolen enough time. Here's what I'm saying. Today's word should be a pillar for you today and a bridge that you can build for tomorrow. And I oftentimes say to people in the alignment, and I was trying to figure out, how is an illustration to couch it. Everyone should be pursuing a Weather Channel type of lifestyle. Weather channels will tell you the percentage and the prediction of what's coming. Too many people are drowning in what is, and they're not prepared for what will come. So if tomorrow happens, this is why we talked about on last evening the alignment, body, mind, and spirit, which is going to go to Romans 12, 1 and 2. But we're going to look at Galatians 5 and 1 so we can have a better understanding of who we are. It says, stand fast in the liberty wherewith Christ has set you free. Be not entangled again. So one of the key things that we're looking at are, who are your dream supporters? When you find who has been stealing time, you have to do an evaluation to see, can they help you build your dreams? If they can't help you build your dreams, then they can't help you build your future. So it goes back to this, the alignment, body, mind, and spirit. Who I was is not who I am, and who I am will not be who I become. So when I look at dream, who are your dream supporters? I saw some who walked in and they actually just, it kind of makes you think. And the reason I'm bringing this part back up is because we're all are easily trapped by confirmation bias. Because people who agree with us don't always have our best interests at heart. So when we look at confirmation bias is a phrase that's coined by the English psychologist Peter Watson, and the tendency of people who favor information that confirms or strengthens their beliefs and values and is difficult to dislodge once affirmed. This is what I would say. You may be a caterpillar. The wrong information won't change your life, but it can destroy your life. Misinformation, misperception, you have to be careful who you allow in your space. There's another term I'm going to give you for the writers, are dream stallers. This would come in your work relationship because we become so codependent upon our career, job, education that we many times never look within ourselves. Now, confirmation bias, here's the danger zone. Many times it has no truths or facts. It is tied to one of the four: illusions, imaginations, hallucination, and hypothetical thinking. On last evening, we talked about the bubbles, and we're going to do that again on this coming Sunday. But for the writers, I want you to write this: leaving the bubble world. which means I'm tired of temporary things. I'm tired of things that don't add up and don't add value. Here is how Booker T. Washington said it in his quote. A lie doesn't become truth. Wrong doesn't become right. And evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by the majority. This is what I call the bubble world. If people keep saying things, the human mind will eventually say, well, it might be true. It has no facts. It has no substance. This is how people put a hook into you and draw you in. And have you ever been into something, you got caught up with something, and then it took you years and days to get away from? Here is what I recommend. Number one, write this. Start thinking like successful people. So everybody should have some type of role model, someone who you know who not don't have to personally know, but someone, I would say, use it in a term of a case study. How did he become successful? Don't look at what the media shows you. Go and find the backstory. Why? Our focus this month is personal development. You have to realize, in order to begin to bring your dreams into reality, I have to be personally developed. I cannot go with my own opinion, my own confirmation bias of what I've done. What I've done many times haven't prepared me for what I'm going to encounter. This is why I emphasize certification, credentials, getting degrees, associate's degrees, getting something higher than the knowledge you have. Because here's the thing that people who say, well, I've got experience and I'm loyal and I'm all that. Okay, but you don't have any modules. You don't have any models. You've never worked through any additional systems. So when people that's of that caliber start having conversation about a Sigma 3, a Sigma 5, a Sigma 7, you are totally lost. You can't go to the world of this and then try to go look up what it means and then come back and have a conversation. Because what you received and what you read was only on the surface and doesn't give you the details. Does this make sense? This is why I said you need to kind of start positioning your life like you're listening for the weather. If I am coming to a ministry, if I am coming to a church, I don't want to hear what I know. If you're asking me to be a part of a ministry, I have no interest in what was. I need you to stimulate my intellect and intelligence that will stimulate my faith. I'm going to show you. So who is your dream supporters? Now, here's a particular character that I find very significant. His name was Steve Biko. And I heard a lady from Israel who sings with Plan for Change. She says, she's an Israelite. She says, I come from a place of conflict. Steve Borkin came from a place of conflict. And so when I look at the topic tonight, who are your dream supporters? This is what he said. It is better to die for an ideal that will live than to live for an ideal that will die. And I re-listened to the song today, Plan for Change, when it talked about his life. And on September 1977, he was in the custody of police, and I might be wrong, either in North Africa or South Africa. And he was killed in their custody. And his perception was, and so through his blood and through his death, people made his dream, along with Nelson Mandela, come true. He said, so I'm going to ask you about who is willing to take the risk with you to build or solidify your dreams. He said, Steve Biko said it this way: it's better to die for an ideal that will live. You're not having dreams because you ate too much poke salad. You're not having dreams because of a possum foot. I have some friends who are hunting. Oh my God, what is it that they hunt? What's the thing that has look like it has a bandana on it? Raccoons. They're raccoon hunters, and they're always putting up videos of their dogs and them at night chasing raccoons. And so I always say, you know, good for you all, but I don't want no raccoon meat. I haven't had any, so I can't say what it tastes like, but they love hunting raccoons. And so I want to say to you, if you're going to grow, then you're coming from a place of conflict. Conflict comes with friction when you start to do something that's not the norm. So Steve Borkin says it's better to die for an ideal that will live than live for an ideal that will die. Who are your dream supporters? One of the things you're going to need, and I want you to write this because people always hit me up about, I always talk about emotions. But I'm going to give you a new word tonight, new for me, emotional intelligence. It's every one of us, and I actually picked this up from finances. And so I was reading, I try to study finance at least 6-7 times a day. And so I saw this phrase in there as a skill. They call it emotional intelligence. The ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions. If you're going to build your dream, you cannot let people kill you with your emotions. If you're going to build your dreams, you cannot let failure cause you to stop. If you need a break, take a break, go have a pity party, get yourself together, give yourself 7 to 14 minutes, and then bring yourself back to your dream. Refocus. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand. You can't understand when you're emotional. How many parents deal with their little kids, their little people, and they're and the parent be like, come on, bring that in. I need you to calm down. Calm down. No. And tell me what happened. Yes, because they get mad, start speeding down the highway, shooting people birds, yelling at other people's cars when they have the windows rolled up. Emotional intelligence, which means I know when to draw back. I know when to pull my emotions in before they get out of hand. So it says emotional intelligence, the ability, say this with me, to understand, to use, and manage your own emotions. So why are you over there in somebody else's business? It says in positive ways to release stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. I saw an article that said it really, they could have very well wrote it for me because I'm trying to grow into it. They says it's always 10% conflict of difference of opinion and 90% your tone. So that's one of my personal things that I'm working on is my tone. Now, I'm not there yet, so don't try me. But I'm trying to get there, okay? Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways, to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. Now, Here are, I think, is 10 things I'm going to give you, and we're done. In order to figure out who can support your dream, one thing the dreamer has to realize: evolution doesn't happen overnight. So if you're a dreamer, you have a dream. Number one, evolution doesn't happen overnight. This is why I tell people about credentials and certifications, because you may have worked in building A. Building B has a different budget and a different module and a different model. If you know nothing about what they're doing in building B, then you don't have the intelligence to be there. Number two, for the dreamer, there are those who still want to restrict your resources. This is number two for the believer. They tell you things like, well, why you want to do that? What do you want to do that for? Why don't you just get a job? Why you already have a good job and a good family and a nice house? I mean, why do you want to take another class? Why do you want to be an investor? Those are people who still want to restrict your resources. They restrict your resources by making you feel like you are prepared for the next 10 years. This is why I said earlier, they have stolen. I have to literally get them out of my head. When you can get them out of your head, you'll get them out of your space. There are some calls that you don't need to return. There are some text messages that you don't need to respond to. It's a distraction to your focus. Number three, open your mind, your intellect and intelligence to learning. Learning creates opportunities. Never think you or I have enough. Number three, open your mind to reading, studying, case studying. Learning creates opportunities. Number four, be aware as you are evolving. I'll say this again. Be aware as you are evolving of dream stallers. What does that mean? You become a firefighter. You're helping your brother, you're helping your sister, you're helping your neighbor. You're helping everyone except for you. This is what delay you in education. This is what delay you in research. This is what delays you in getting the art and mastering what your gift is, because there are dream stallers. You were supposed to do A, B, and C on Monday, and you haven't done nothing. Dream stallers will stop you from making a schedule. You will wear a fireman's hat and try to rescue everybody. And they use this and they sneak in as I'm your friend. I did this for you. I did that for you. 9 times out of 10, you have done something or paid them back, but they're not there for you. They're there to stall your future. And the way they stall your future is by stealing your time. Number 5, become proactive rather than reactive. In other words, Thursday should already be on your agenda, and you should have the things that you need to accomplish Thursday. If it's not on your agenda, then why are you giving time to somebody who called you who didn't have an agenda and started a personal fire? If it doesn't lead anywhere and the horse does not have a head and a driver, why are you in the horse and buggy? Why are you in a conversation that you're not the decision maker? And when someone comes along and try to scale you up, and this is an added bonus, they come along and let me put it this way. You have all the qualifications, but you don't have the temperament. You don't have the right setup and makeup. And so someone has to come to you and say, hey, I need you to change this. Leaders don't show up on time. That's what people do. That's what parishioners do. Leaders show up 15, 30 minutes early. The next level, if they say it starts at 8 o'clock, you need to be in the room by 7:45. That is getting ready to happen at a conference right now. You can run downstairs, because here's what we don't do and what most people don't do to you. At 7:59, they close the door. You can't go register, go get your coffee. You did not plan to be successful. We only got 5 minutes. Just loosen up. Loosen up. We only got 5 minutes. I'm not talking about anybody in the room. I'm just trying to see proactive. That's what leaders do. Leaders don't walk in. There was a time in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s when everybody stood around. Well, you know, we got to wait on ball. What ball say? You know, ball got to. Well, you no. Leaders are out front. The new leadership style is servitude, not authority, not authoritarian. And some people like authoritarian people. Oh, what you want me to do, boss? Oh, you say run up that hill? Yes, sir, boss. I'm going to run up that hill, boss. You say move them bosses? Yes, sir, boss. I'm going to move. How many? I bet I'm going to move them all day till you tell me something. See, that is a person that is dreamless. This is a bonus. Dreamers ask questions. Dreamers try to get understanding so they can handle their emotional intelligence. Be proactive rather than reactive. People who are reactive, everybody waiting on what they're going to say. Listen, quit underestimating people's intelligence. Now, this is totally off the record. I got 4 minutes. Someone said something to me about church. I said, I don't go to church to be trapped or controlled. I don't go to church to be trapped or controlled. I go to church to hear from God and to learn and to adopt, adapt, and apply. If you're telling me something I already know, don't expect for me to move. Can I play it plain? Because you ain't saying nothing to my spirit. I go to church to build my spirit. I don't go to church to hear that you can quote 8 scriptures and give me 12 of them and can't explain one word that you said to me. Break that one word down to me. Because now listen, play with me if you want to. I can break it down in the hermeneutics and the hermeneutics and the context and the narrative. I can break it down. Play with me if you want to. Some people didn't think I knew anything. But that don't help me spiritually. It lets me know that you have qualified and studied. But I need something that will help build my spirit. So I don't go to church to be trapped or controlled. You can take that however you want to. Number 6. Well, this falls into place in number 6. Don't try to give me a plan when you don't have a plan for yourself. If all you can do is just try to make me happy, I can make my own self happy. Help me grow my faith. It's not by anointed sound, it's by anointed knowledge. Number 6, don't try to give me a plan when you don't have a plan for yourself. Number 7, you have to prioritize your dreams over your distractions. Sometimes you got to go to the next room and get yourself together. You have to prioritize your dreams over your distractions and distractors. Number 8, focus over confusion. You have a choice to make, to stay focused or to dive into the confusion. If you stay focused, number 9, you will surely find your voice. If you stay focused. Quit talking about what you ain't. Quit talking about what you think you ought to be, because you're not that either. You're not a failure, and you're not successful. You know why? You haven't plugged in and charged up. You may be smart enough to be there, but do you have the credentials to stay there? Number 9, you will surely find your voice. Number 10, what was the subject? Who are your dream supporters? Number 10, now you will know and can find your support team. If a person cannot push you forward, this is a bonus. More than likely, they're gaslighting you. If we exit out some of this unnecessary stuff, we'll have space to become creative. And when you become creative, you can become productive. So now you become a producer over being a consumer. God bless you. I'll see you soon.